Good morning and welcome to the pre-market report for Monday 22nd August 2022. Now, when we look at the news front, I would say there's not much on the international news front. This is not much occurred there apart from the usual Ukraine and Russia issue, where basically one of the Russian key political thinkers' daughter was blown up in a car explosion. Then when we come to the local news front, the major news is related to the Adani Group. I said that the Adani Group firstly, under their company Adani Data Networks, applied for the universal license in 6 circles. So now that is going to be something that is going to trouble stock like Reliance. And the other news is that Adani Group has been given the nod by SEBI for the $3.8 billion deal for Ambuja and ACC open offer. And Adani will be offering 385 rupees per share for Ambuja, which is below the current market price, as Ambuja's current market price is 421, we can say, and Adani is going to offer 2,300 per share for ACC, which is also again below the current market price, which is 235.50 for ACC. So it's going to be interesting to see, as naturally if the offer is lower, we know what's going to happen to the stocks. So that is quite a clear cut message. Now, when we look at the global indexes, we see that last week, as I had said, the Nasdaq faltered at my next resistance level. It could not reach the 200-day moving average. Now, I had said it will come back towards the former resistance, which will be act as a new support, and that is exactly what is happening. As we see on Friday, the close was basically a few points shy of the 20-day moving average, and I expect it with the coming session now to test the former resistance and new support, which will be a new support, but that is not that strong as a support zone. So we're going to have to see whether it can hold that. Because if it holds that, then it just shows that the bear's grip was very weak. However, most likelihood we're going to come to this support zone at 12,609. The next one is the S&P 500. S&P 500, I had not put a con support resistance zone, as the ones who have been watching the pre-market for longer know that I said just the next target is 200 MA. Now, after meeting that target, we have basically come down as expected, and I expect this one to fall also to the former resistance, which is the new support at basically 4,140 rupees. Once we reach there, it will be interesting to see how this index performs, but I expect in this one this support to hold, as it is a major support zone. Now when we come to the next one, which is Dow Jones. Now the Dow Jones, the same, I had said 200 MA was the target, and now it is faltering there. However, I do not expect the Dow to reach the former resistance to a new support. This year it is currently the strongest index, so the max pullback we'll have is towards the 20-day moving average, after which we can have a bounce to the upside. Right now, I only see the pullback lasting till here for the Dow Jones. The next stock we're looking at today is Reliance Industries. The reason I chose to look at Reliance is, number one, it's an index heavyweight, so it's going to influence a lot what goes on. Number two, it's going to be reacting to the news that Adani has applied for the license in universal license in 6 circles. So now for Reliance, you can see faltered at the last resistance I had shared. As I had shared two resistances of Reliance, it broke the first one and it then reached the second one, which was updated. Now after that it has had a decline, and I expect the first support it to utilize is the 2576, and if that one doesn't hold, then 2540. I am banking on more 2540, which is 2538 basically, because that is simply the sturdier support, as 2570 is not as strong as the lower support zone shared. So I'm looking at the initial target of 2540 if we break today's low and close below it. Now when we come to our local indexes, on Friday and Thursday we had a good decline, and I've naturally been sharing the resistance levels post market which I'm giving clients, and the update is still here, which is 17,970 for the Nifty, and then 39,900 for the Banknifty. Now when basically looking at how we traded on Friday, I had shared on Twitter the screenshot about number one, the quant indicator, how both of them caught the intraday short perfectly from the top to the bottom, letting us catch the full move. And basically I shared the trades, two trades which I had done. One Nifty which was entered at 915, and Banknifty which was entered at 933. So now those two managed to capture the full move. This is as let's say for the Nifty, the target on the downside was at 17,720, and we managed to reach 17,712. So we managed to capture the full move, down move of the day, which was a very big positive. Now the key reason we had shorted is, number one, the quant indicator had indicated a short, and the reason why I was bearish, and I had even said we carried position on call sells, is that number one, this resistance level was proving tough to break, and we have had a parabolic rise that has mostly consisted of gap ups and not a normal rise. Because if you are rising in a normal fashion, then it would be okay, but we are rising on a daily basis with a gap up. So that does not make any logical sense, and when you look at historically, the number of gap ups we have had in the past 2 to 3 weeks, we have never had before in such a succession of a row. So we had reached, number one, the quant resistance level. Then we had seen signs of faltering on the price action front here and here, and that is why I decided to short the index number one positionally via C cells, and then with the help of my intraday indicator plus the quant levels via P buys in the intraday time frame, which let us make a killing on both sides. Now it will be very important to see basically how the index opens, because right now it shows a gap down of roughly 70 points. So if we were to break the low of the first 15-minute candle, then it will be most likely a short to the next quant support level, which will let us make a decent return. And the same can be said for the Banknifty, as basically the low of Friday is going to be very important. A break of that, and if we stay below that for basically a bit of time, then it's a short back towards the downside for intraday. We are still holding C cells, me and the clients, and also holding a bit of P cells. So I'm expecting it to stick within a certain parameters until Thursday of this week, and that is why we move like that. So it'll be interesting to see how the indexes trade today and whether they trade as per expectations. Thank you for watching, and do like the video and subscribe to the channel.